everyone, and welcome to this edition of Live, Work, Play, the TechM Way. My name is Anandita Shishta, and I'm here today at the beautiful InfoCity campus. This platform brings to you a series of thought-provoking and engaging conversations with our leaders where they share their stories and examples of themselves, their teams, or even their leaders having lived the Tech Mahindra core values and RISE tenets. They also get to tell us about their journey at Tech Mahindra, and also we get a glimpse of them beyond work. Today's guest on this series has been part of the leadership team at Tech Mahindra since 2004 and has been instrumental in acquiring, building, and nurturing several relationships with Fortune 500 customers. Prior to his current role, he was heading P&L for Global Process Manufacturing and A&D for Tech Mahindra. In addition to his regular responsibilities, he also actively contributes to the corporate vision and strategy. He's also been the first chairman for the Hyderabad Leadership Council from 2009 to 2010. In his illustrious career spanning 25 years, he's also been part of the leadership team for Fortune 500 companies like Capgemini, Ernst & Young, and Wheeling Pittsburgh Corporation. He's been a member of the National Management Association in the USA and the CII Manufacturing Committee in India. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Sharat Kumar, Global Delivery Head at Tech Mahindra, heading P&L for the EMEA region, to Live, Work, Play, the TechM Way. Hello, Sharat. Great to have you here.
Hello, Ananta. Thank you.
Sharat, in your long and eventful journey with Tech Mahindra, was there an instance where you believed an associate or even a team has personified the RISE tenets? Can you please share a story like this with us?
Yeah. I think one thing comes to my mind. I think it was 2011 or 12 during the time frame. We embarked on a very aggressive implementation of a SAP implementation for a customer. And there were a lot of dependencies on the customer. So I think basically we took the challenge for the aggressive timelines given. When we had the team in place, so the dependencies from the customer side were getting delayed. And in spite of that one, there was an escalation all the way to the chairman of the group, actually. And when the chairman talked to me about this one to our CEO and others, and we told them that we will actually deliver this one on time. So basically with the project manager who was there, and all I had to do was remind the RISE tenets, and then basically he took that same thing and then thought out of the box thinking with the same team. And I think what was thought to be an impossible task, which was communicated to our chairman also at the time, and this was delivered 100% on spot, and this was acknowledged by the customer himself. And I think this was acknowledged by our management, including Anand. And I think it was a delightful moment to see that actually the RISE tenets were applied and then we delivered to the customer. So this one came to my mind.
Oh, nice. So then alternative thinking really helped.
Absolutely. Alternative thinking. All three we had to use, driving the positive change because the team was very demotivated. Some of the resignations, and this was in a German geography, cold winter. So it was a very, very difficult task, and drive positive change, and we applied that one. And alternate thinking, definitely we had to do all three of them to get to where we were.
Okay. Sharat, you've also been part of the leadership team for many Fortune 500 companies. What do you think it's about our Tech Mahindra culture that makes working here a unique experience?
Yeah. So I think my experience, mostly I worked in the US, almost 18 years there, and I worked with Ernst & Young Consulting also. The work culture there and the culture here, for me, I think this is more attractive in the Tech Mahindra culture, where we have the respect for the individuality. I think that is very key for us. And also there is a flexibility, although we say that we have certain fixed timelines and all, but I think we have certain flexibility that we leverage to enjoy ourselves. I think this is one of the key cultures. And also this, the true family culture. I think we have this connectedness together. We have the outings within the teams. We have the outings within the groups. So I think this makes our bonding much more stronger. And I think this is what I feel is the differentiator for us. I also feel that I think one of the most important one is the flat organization, where we are not hierarchical so much. But at the same time, when it comes to the execution of a delivery or any sales, we do get into the hierarchy because we have to have accountability. But I think as an organization, I think we are a very flat organization, and I think that's a very, very significant difference when I compare to the other organization that I work for.
Also, Sharat, you've been known as a leader whose customer focused skills are legendary. And of course, customer first is one of our Tech Mahindra's core values. What do you think associates like us can do on a day-to-day basis to be true to this core value?
I think this is a very important question actually, and basically we are known for our delivery excellence from the customers, and we don't have to hard sell to the customers. They actually recognize how we deliver, and they come to us for more. And we have grown in many Fortune companies like that. One of the key, I would say that today, if the associate has to implement the customer first, they have to spend some time of their day on learning the customer. I think this is the gap I feel. That I think, I don't think it is unique to this company here, because when I worked for another company, Fortune company, for a year or so, there I have seen working with the multi-IT companies, and there also it is the same thing. So what I would say is that the associate spends a little bit of time. We are the best in the technology. But I think if you understand the business knowledge of the customer, then you can relate the technology enablement to the customer, and you can relate it much better, and then you start enjoying it better. So this is where I would think that our associates probably should spend some time on understanding the customer a little better.
Okay. So understanding the customer is a tip given by Sharat. Sharat, being in your position as the global delivery head must mean that you must live and work with a lot of stress. So how do you unwind? How do you prepare yourself to rise the next day?
Yeah, I think it's a good question actually. Yeah, I think I also have a different work-life balance. Today, I'm a little more interested in the philosophy. So I go to a temple every day in the morning, and then that actually starts my day with the temple. And I remind myself that you will have the situations in a day, and how do you keep your calm? And then try to understand the other person's perspective rather than jumping onto the situations. And that gives me a perspective where I can relate and try to analyze the situation, and at the same time give the direction rather than trying to argue why it happened. I will try to focus on the how you can solve that issue. And again, remind myself about that, treat others like just you want to be treated. And I think this is where I try to work with my teams to give them the freedom, flexibility, and support them. I think, I also heard our leadership telling, celebrate your failures, right? So I think, this is very important. I think you not only celebrate your successes, but also you celebrate your failures. And that's what I do. So when somebody loses an opportunity, I take the full accountability, responsibility for that. But when there is a win, it is the entire team that does the work there. So I think that perspective gives me to keep my stress levels little down. And I also go out for the team activities, and I also go play with them. And we have this quarterly going outings. And we do connect very well on that part, yeah. So that's how I try to keep my stress lower.
Okay, thank you so much, Sharat, for those useful tips and advice. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was Sharat Kumar, Global Delivery Head at Tech Mahindra. Stay tuned for more such interesting conversations with our leaders. This is Anindita Shishta signing off. Have a great day.